Section 17 of Indian Contract Act defines fraud. Fraud means and includes any of the following acts committed by a party to a contract with an intent to deceive the other party thereto or to induce him to enter into a contract the suggestion as a fact of that which is not true by one who does not believe it to be true. Active concealment of a fact by one having knowledge or belief of the fact or promise made without any intention or performing it or any other act fitted to deceive or any such act or commission or omission as the law specifically declares to be fraudulent. The very elements of fraud are there must be a representation or assertion and it must be false. To constitute fraud, there must be an assertion of something false within the knowledge of the party asserting it. Mere silence as to facts like to affect the willingness of a person to enter into a contract is not fraud. To constitute fraud, ordinarily there must be active misstatement of fact, the withholding of that which is not stated makes that is stated absolutely false. So, these are the elements. If it is present, it would be considered as fraud. So, for example, A sells horse to B. Horse unsoundness was not told by A, but when B asks A regarding that, A remains silent. Then he assumes that the horse is sound. Here, silence would be considered as speech, so it is a fraud. So deliberate false statement regarding disclosure of age in an insurance policy is considered as fraud. Active concealment is also a kind of fraud. A to sell a motorcycle to B and the motorcycle is having a major defect which A do not disclose to B, which was later discovered by B. So here active concealment about the major defect in the motorcycle by A to B is considered as fraud. So also A sells a shoe to B of ordinary leather and made of as calf leather. So here A deceived B regarding the very shoe which is really made of ordinary leather, but he falsely made it to be as made of calf leather. So it is a kind of deceit, so it is a fraudulent act. Another example, A takes a loan from B with no intention to pay back, So it is a kind of false promise. So also it is an act of fraud. The next example, A mortgaged an estate to B, which is not free from encroachment. So the very mortgage of that estate by A to B, which is not free from encroachment, was concealed by A. So any concealment of such act of encroachment by A would be considered as an fraudulent act. The very effect of fraud or any fraudulent act in an agreement between the party is voidable at the option of the other party as provided under Section 19 of Indian Contract Act.